sending to me.
I know.
Mhm.
You're a busy person.
Okay, but I mean, many of the people I have to drop because they are like crazy.
I know that. I know that, and I think as agreed with you, I'm focusing 100% now on this, waste to value projects and climate smart on
Mhm.
schools and university campuses.
Right.
So I will share a recording of the meeting I had just before this one, and
Mhm.
I'm publishing that. So that the good news is that we have got another 1,500-acre land in USA to build the climate smart town. So those are all the good news, which we are having, and we are really moving forward now, with respect to, all our projects basically.
Okay.
And gold has
Let,
been,
let me tell you that the seems that Sakata is finally going to send something at some moment. Okay,
okay,
Sakata.
good.
The people that are talking, it's Walter from Brazil and Sakata. I am not. I mean, I probably Sakata needs to cool down. I mean, whatever, no.
No. I
So
think Walter wrote a very nice message, in the group, and
yeah.
that's the way to, definitely we don't want to put any burden on Mr. Sakata, because it's
No.
not easy to.
I mean, I have been. I mean, Mr. Sakata was replying gently on the first 1 week or on the first 10 days.
Right.
He replied like a normal person
Uh-huh.
to salutes. No,
Right,
he
exactly.
replied. Then I asked him. Then I was making some kind of leveraging information. So what did I did? I called him without writing. I called him
Okay.
Friday last week. I called him probably Saturday and maybe Monday. Okay, so I called him.
Good.
He was not
You need to.
replying.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course, he was not replying. So I mean, I was calling in my late evening, and it was his morning. Okay,
right.
Different hours. So he was not replying. So on Monday, I sent him a message directly to his WhatsApp, and I asked Walter. I copied that to Walter, and I asked him, why don't you find out also? No, and so he agreed with me, and he took like 12 hours more or less to write. He sent a message to the group. Okay, he put three notes, and then yesterday's in the morning of Walter, they have spoken.
Okay.
So everything is fine. So I mean, I do not need to speak with Tata, no, because you see, it has been a problem at some moment because he never raised a letter. I mean, maybe the problem, Mufadalis, I don't know, no? If the share that I have, a share, okay, that's one thing.
Right.
Okay. Maybe also the problem is that Mr. Sakata has to pay because he's in principle he is kind of honest, okay, in principle. So I do not know
Sure.
more, no.
I don't think there is any doubt about that.
Yeah, he has to pay to some 1, 2, 3 parties in Japan, and maybe divide with his brother, and maybe pay to some people from Chile. I do not know, okay, but he says that he will earn very little, considering that if he is going to go keep this 0.25. So also the matter of the COVID, it has to be reboosted, re-engineered. We have you and I, well, we will need to give solutions to financing, because if there is no letter of credit or proof of funds, probably there will also not be, because Walter also, it's a strong piece. Walter, okay? Right. So they have agreed something on the what will happen to 0.5 or 0.3 or 0.1 or 0, because I mean, from the position of Walter and Sakata, because they are like two voices, okay? They do not want to contribute. I mean, contribution to social projects is one thing and business is something else.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's, and then I have to speak smart, okay?
Okay.
In the past, I was a antagonist with Walter. So if Walter says, I want to modify, I said, no, why? Why? I mean, those are the numbers. So I was defending the position, okay?
Right.
The status quo.
Exactly.
But now because it is very strategic for us to that Walter feels that he's important also.
He is.
Maybe we need to, yeah, okay, he is. So we need to change some things. You understand? If I keep defending, okay, the situation, the status quo, I do not support Walter. So I am changing. Okay, I'm telling you.
There is no point to be firm. I think you should give freedom to Walter.
Yeah, freedom, Sakata, totally freedom. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And Mr. Sakata and Walter should not at all be forced to contribute for the social entrepreneurship project, because that is our project. If they don't want to participate in doing good work, that's their choice.
They will for this 21. But after the 21, listen to this. This is very interesting. After the 21, they say that will be changed. It will be probably 0 or maybe nothing or whatever. I mean, but it will be a change. So they are. So what I have done is I have taken advantage of that information, and I have told to Walter, do not worry. For example, let's say there are 4 votes. Okay, we exclude Kevin Cody. Okay, we exclude him. It's Sakata, Walter, Guillermo, and Mufadal. So I told Walter, listen, Walter. So you and Sakata are two votes. I will say nothing. I am absent. And Mufadal, it's 1. So you are 2-1. That's, I mean, so your position. Your position is totally valid, so I am not going to. I told him that, so that he can feel irrelevant. You understand? I mean, this is important. This is the psychological aspect of the negotiations.
Yes.
If I say no, so he will feel no. I mean, maybe it is that you are working with Mufadal and you are sharing this, and this will be used for your own money, whatever, okay? And also Sakata has the matter that, okay, Guillermo works for me or works for Mufadal, so it's a lot of problem, that thing. So before, it's better to say peace for everybody.
Let them, I think, both, I think, Walter and Mr. Sakata should be delighted. Let them conclude the 21 metric ton transaction.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
After that, we make sure that I'm a kind of a person who makes sure that everyone, all our stakeholders are delighted. Okay. And I've just shared the link of the meeting today with this gentleman, Mr. Panda. Okay. And the same topic came. Okay. Same topic. Okay. Everybody has a different style and way of doing things. A lot of people are taking a lot of time, in executing the projects. And he was not delighted by all that time wasting. So I simply told him, okay, Mr. Panda, you are operating a social entrepreneurship organization like Panda Nation, right? And I don't have any problems in you incorporating a company, Panda Inc., okay, which is also a startup New York company. And I will fully support you. You are the person there. If you want me, I can become a founding director and help you out with all the goal business and everything else you want me to do. I will fully support you, and you are independent. You don't have to listen to anybody. You are the boss. Okay, so do it. Okay, so that's a freedom which we need to give to everybody. Okay, so they can operate, with full comfort, no constraints, okay, of any kind. And that's how you need to work in order to really work on a project to help 7 billion people. There is no other way of doing it. So I've done that, and I think at the end of the day, he was very delighted with the whole situation, and he said, "Well, we need to." So I said, "There is no need to do the Zoom meeting, okay? Because you can share the recording of this meeting with the landowner. I will also share the contract I've signed with the landowner in Pakistan. So the MOU is already with you. You insert his name and address and everything, and we are done." And as soon as that MOU is signed, we will allocate the funds, for the project. It's $1 billion project, that's what it takes.
Yeah, but I mean, what is the problem of Panda? He does not want to do what? He does not want
No. He was simply mentioning that so many people are there, in this, like, you remember you came in and left from the V.net meeting?
Yes.
Right? So in the V.net meeting, there are all very senior people, and they, they like to, express their point of view. It's like a relaxation mode for them. They need somebody to listen to them. Okay, that's what happens. You feel lonely when you are so old. Okay, living alone, you are a single mother or a grandmother, and you are living alone. So you need to really share your feelings with everybody else, and that's what we do in the V.net meetings also. So we respect everybody, we listen to each other, and we try to help each other out. So it's not actually a business meeting. And Panda, being a very young person, he also doesn't like that. So, Mufaddal, I mean, you guys are talking, nothing is happening. Okay. So I told him that, okay, you work with the people whom you are feeling comfortable in working with. So Heidi Little is a lady who is very agile and, very, very considerate, and, so work with her, So she's a good person. Then, so we have really isolated the people who wants to talk and the people who wants to work. Lot of questions were there, as to how things will happen. So I said, well, the role of V is to help everybody out, okay? And with respect to our projects, the role of V is to do the marketing, to spread the word to everybody, okay? And we pay them for doing it, okay? Because there is a small bit of, money needed to do the videos and the money needed to do different things, which we need to do to spread the word around. So we give them the money and they will do their part because they are very, very comfortable doing it. Making musicals and, doing teleconferences and talking to people and having a TV show. So they are actually all entertainers, and they would like to use the entertainment industry to spread the word around, which is good. So there is nothing wrong in that. Okay, so now I think we are moving forward with that. The matter related to all the logistics has been resolved. Okay, one other very, very good news is this, that my fellow engineer from Canada, Lloyd Helfety, is also putting a team together to do this project, in Canada. So he wants to focus on building these campuses in Canada, and then there are a lot of Pakistanis also in Canada, and they are also very, very rich and high-profile people. Okay, so we are engaging them in building our campuses in the MSW project which we have of Geyland. Remember that project which we were working on? So now the funds for that project will also come from Canada also, because we are engaging all the Pakistanis in Canada to work on that, to participate in the project with us. So all that thing are, all those things are moving forward. And in this 11 days of this teleconferencing, I'm participating in most of them, and our word and our presentations and our video channel is being shared by everyone. So everybody is very, very interested in working with us. So I think we are really moving forward now. And like for you, I mean, the good news for us is this, that all the money, okay, all the money which is coming for our project, okay, has to be converted into gold. Okay.
Okay.
Because we will not be spending dollars, okay, to do the project. We will be converting that into gold so that we can do the project without inflation. Automatically, all that $1 billion or whatever amount of money which comes from Canada, which comes from USA, which comes from globally all the TQL club members, which comes from 2 billion mothers, which comes from 2 billion Muslims, you know, all this fund from different sources has to be converted into gold. I mean, we don't have really any worries about, you know, where the money to buy gold will come from.
Right.
It is there, okay. It is there for us to just, you know, delight everybody.
Okay.
Because the gold is there, you know. And today I actually was talking to one of my, you know, you remember, you know, we were working on that IRADA project, you know, for eliminating malaria from the world, you know. And I committed $15 million for that project, okay, in January. Okay. And the gentleman who is actually leading the project, you know, he educated me a lot about gold business. Okay. And, you know, that actually was a big blessing for me in terms of how to really, you know, manage these businesses effectively, you know, removing all the, you know, brokers which are around and, you know, finding out. He actually gave me the estimate. Again, I'll share that image with you also, is that what is the current amount of gold which exists in the world and who has it, okay? And he gave me a number, okay, and I will quote the number to you. Currently, United States is the largest owner of the asset, according to that, you know, report he has. And they officially, the bank officially owns about 8,000 tons. Okay.
Okay.
He says, well, US is the largest one, and then everybody else, you know, 10 countries are up behind US. Okay, so he just estimated that the total amount of gold in the world is this much in the banks. Okay, in the central banks.
How much is the amount?
I think that amount is something I will share the exact image with you. But I remember about 8,000 metric tons is in United States Federal Reserve. Okay, that's it. They own the largest asset in the bank. Okay, not anywhere else in the bank. They are talking about in the bank. Okay, so his point was that, you know, people talk about selling 10,000 metric ton worth of gold. I mean, how is it possible? You know, where that gold is coming from.
Who is this person? Who is this person?
This gentleman is actually, you know, his name is George, and he is leading this project of eliminating, you know, malaria from the world. And he liked our concept and idea, and I made a commitment of investing $15 million. And he asked me where the $15 million is coming from, very specifically. And I started with the Kevin Cody contract, you know, which I had signed with JBS. Okay? And then based on all that, he said that, Mufaddal, please do not waste your time in all of these kind of transactions, because most of these people are really brokers. They don't have the gold. And then based on that analysis, he actually did the due diligence on every one of them. Okay. He didn't have anything bad to say about Kevin Cody and his organization, because they are the buyers. They are good people. You know, they are big people. You know, they can buy the gold, but where in the hell you're going to supply this quantity of gold to them? And all your suppliers are jokers. You know, they don't have the gold.
But what's the point about this person? I mean, what's the point?
So what he said was that, Mufaddal, please focus on real things. Okay, instead of wasting your time on gold, focus on your climate smart food, focus on, these healthcare solutions which we can provide. And you are such a high profile person, you can make a lot of money in climate smart food. Why you are wasting your time in gold? Okay, so that was his
Okay.
advice was, and that's how we terminated the communication. And he said that, Mufaddal, I believe you cannot really invest $15 million based on your gold transactions. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you do is all valid. So once you have the money in your pocket, you call me and I will, work with you.
From where does he live, this person?
This person lives in Thailand.
In Thailand?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, since we were talking about a lot of gold in Thailand and stuff like that, so he basically, he said, well, I know who has how much gold in Thailand. Okay. So please do not waste my time in all the gold transactions which you are doing. Okay. 99% of them are fake, and please don't waste your time on them. And
so what are you going to do with this person?
He did the due diligence, So I simply told I told Amjad today, I said, well, I learned a lot from George, and our focus exclusively now, after his input, is on gold mines.
Yeah, but this guy is George? This is George, or this is somebody else? What's the name of this person?
This gentleman is a friend of mine in Tokyo. Amjad is his name. I will put you in touch with him. Okay, Amjad is his name. I think I introduced you to him, right? That he is one of the other gentlemen we know in Tokyo. Okay, who is also a very powerful man, working on these high-profile projects, and he can really work with us. Once we finance some of his projects, he can be a good person who can join our Sam's Tikuelma Global Tokyo, because he is already present there.
He lives where? But he lives in Thailand, no?
No, he lives in Tokyo.
In Tokyo, Okay.
George is the gentleman who is a director in this company and leading the Irada project, lives in Thailand. He's an ex-military man, okay, very powerful man, military intelligence person. And he simply loved me, and we became friends when I simply mentioned that I'm building 5G proof houses. And he was excited about the whole thing, okay? So he knows a lot about 5G technology and what it does to you, okay? And he shared the information about how, Army uses 5G technology, okay? So he was excited about that, and that's how we became friends. And now he was excited that, you guys are good, that you are actually preparing 5G proof homes so we can have a secret and, private communication. Because current homes and wherever we do the communication, 5G technology is there, and, no communication is really private. Okay. So that's how we became friends. And now, we will hopefully finance his projects also. We have given the project details to Dr. Easy, because she is interested in really eliminating malaria from Africa, which is a huge problem in Africa, much worse than COVID-19. Malaria kills a lot of people in Africa, every day.
Okay.
So anyway, so that was a good news. Again, you interact with Amjad also in terms of, anything which we need to work on in Tokyo. Yeah. So he's one of our very trusted individual in Tokyo, Japan. Capable also, okay, much more capable than Kasim.
But he's the one that doesn't believe that there is gold.
No, I mean, that he actually, you see, let me tell you how we knew each other, okay? You remember my gentleman in Germany?
Which one?
Ugur was a gentleman's name. He's a Syrian in Germany, and he became my joint venture partner. Okay, we signed a joint venture agreement, and then he was sort of like, you know, he's a dumb broker. Okay.
Ah, okay. The one from Germany that then he couldn't do nothing. No,
He did
that's the
nothing.
one.
Okay. He did nothing.
Okay,
He
yeah,
didn't
that
even
nothing.
had a single dollar, you know, to
Yeah.
single euro to become a member, you know. That's what I told him. Okay. That, and I think I did a mistake that I actually made you my JV partner without really making you the member of my club, you know. I should have really made you the member of my club first. Okay. But then actually he introduced me to Amjad also. Because most of these transactions, you know, all the different metal transactions and everything, whatever he used to find in the internet, you know, he used to just spread it around. Okay, that I can do this and I can do that. Then, you know, from the normal metals like copper and, you know, all the other things, I introduced him to precious metal. And then he got more greedy and more excited about it, you know. And then whatever precious metal deal he found, he used to, you know, become part of it all of a sudden, you know, without doing any due diligence or anything like that. But since he was living in Germany and Germany is a respected country, so I probably know a lot of high profile people in Europe through him. And Amjad was one of them also, you know. So
correct.
So then, well, he's out of the picture now, Mr. Ugur. But then a lot of other people who are, you know, who Mr. Ugur introduced became very good friends of mine, you know. Amjad is one of them.
Okay, right. Noted.
So the end result is this, that, you know, whenever you put in your hard efforts, you know, your input and hard work always gets rewarded, you know. And people who are not, who do not have right intentions, or, you know, who's trying to cheat you or do whatever, they get out of the picture, you know, very fast. So like two people, one from Sudan and one from Germany, they got out of the picture, you know, very, very fast. So, you know, that's how it happens, you know. I mean, everybody is not alike and everybody has got their own problems. And I know Syrian have a lot of psychological problems also, you know. And they are really very, very scared individuals, you know, because they are living in a foreign country like Germany, and they are very, very careful that, you know, they don't want to do anything which can deport them, you know. So that's how, you know, war and living your own country, you know. So I understood his psychological problem, like we have been analyzing Mr. Sakata's psychological problems, you know. So you have to understand everybody and then, you know, forgive them. So anyways, so that's how I met Amjad. And then Amjad introduced me to, you know, all these wonderful projects. And I give you a good news also, confidential news, that, you know, Amjad and his team provided the cure for COVID-19 free to China. And China came out of it very fast. Okay, so they have the solution for COVID-19 also, besides malaria.
Okay.
Because all the innovative, you know, scientists and engineers and all those people are working with them, you know. So good team to be part of, you know. And hopefully now we will be working with them, you know, to do a number of other projects in Africa and globally. But that's a detailed introduction of Amjad, our very trusted associate in Tokyo.
Okay.
So now what is happening with that lady from Florida?
No, she sent a message that was like a final, and I am not going to pursue that at the moment because she was very firm. So that's okay, no? I mean, so I explained to other people that were in the Caribe,
Mhm.
okay, that more or less what you told me, no? That
Right.
she does not own the gold.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
he,
She rather on the call. Yeah, exactly.
she's asking for this because really we,
Mhm.
let me mention to you, for example, I have the notes here. Wait a minute.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, this was the Spanish note.
Mhm.
Okay, but I have translated it. So wait, I'll send the Spanish. This is the Spanish, okay,
Mhm.
and the English. The English is this one. So it says, "Good afternoon, Guillermo. I received your contract,
Mhm.
but in the procedures it does not say that the buyer is presenting a bank guarantee once the contract is signed." And I
Mhm.
explained yesterday, well, it was the day before yesterday,
Mhm.
that we need the bank guarantee to be able to move the product.
Mhm.
The buyer's guarantee is that it will be transported by Ferrari.
Mhm.
If H&T World Limited, Hong Kong is going to be the buyer, you can present the guarantee. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so the second contract that I sent was the one where Ferrari was going to be the consignee
Mhm.
company in Dubai.
Okay.
So this is something that can work. I mean, this was proposed also by Ali, no,
Mhm. Okay.
Zulfikar Ali.
Okay. Zulfikar Ali.
So so this is the second version of the draft.
Okay.
The changes are in red,
Mhm.
and really Rosemary Peralta, the woman from Miami, she said no, so it's okay. I
Mhm.
don't have any problem, no. So
Okay.
that's the story, Mufadal.
Okay. All right. So now, did you had any chance of talking to the people in Dubai, like Mustafa Motiwala?
Uh, no, I tried to speak with Dr. Gadir, but the communication with him was really bad.
Okay.
He sent me a lot of information. A lot of photographs, and I erased everything because it was really like some tens of.
Mhm.
But I kept the documents. He you sent me some information about his profile.
Mhm.
So I have not spoken with Gadir. So
Okay.
I don't know really
No,
what's
no, Gadir
going
is
around.
fine. Gadir has been speaking to this lady, Dr. Easy, and they were talking about a lot of other stuff, you know. So I actually inquired about that, and she mentioned that Dr. Gadir is not comfortable, this. So actually, she was talking about a lot of the Africa projects and stuff like that. And Dr. Gadir said that he has lost money in Africa and stuff like that. So I told her that please don't talk about anything else because Dr. Gadir has a contract of $500 million petroleum contract. Okay, so just focus on that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now she understands and she says that's exactly what she is going to do. So
Mm-hmm.
there is no point in really sharing unimportant information with everybody. Everybody has their own agenda of moving forward. And I explained Dr. Gatir's position that all the petroleum people are in really, really bad shape, okay? And they are really trying to find any kind of, survival situation. And
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Gadir wants to make some money from this 500 million contract, which he has signed with the Korean gentleman. Help them out in terms of using that 500 million so we can utilize that money for our projects also. And Dr. Gadir is delighted and the Korean is also delighted. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what she's going to do.
Okay.
So that's a development from Gadir part. You don't have to worry about him. Although I
No, no, no.
introduced, you to him, and I told him that Dr. Easy is very busy with this teleconferencing happening, for 11 days, and you should communicate the details about the contract. And since it's petroleum contract, Guillermo is very familiar with petroleum contracts and should be able to assist you, in moving forward. So I left that message also with him. So he may be getting in touch with you also.
Right. So because we can use there is a TOTOC kind of communication that I think you and I used once. It can work also, but I mean,
TikTok
his
works
phone
better,
number.
Yeah. TikTok works better. It works much better in Dubai.
Yes.
Botim as well as TikTok, it's the same company.
Yeah, but Botim sometimes it doesn't work like Skype. So you have WhatsApp, Skype, and they do not work in the Emirates. I don't know why. What's the problem with
Emirates actually works best with TikTok.
Yeah, TOTOC. With TOTOC, it works very well. Yes.
Yeah, it works very well. So, and Botim is the same company, Botim got enhanced into, TOTOC. And so now I use TOTOC to talk to people in Dubai. Although we cannot record the, conversation like in Zoom.
Okay, so there is something that is like growing very slowly. Mufadal, there is a chance that somebody will go to Mali. Okay, somebody from Chile.
Okay.
But I don't want to introduce you to that because I don't know. The person has to go. Okay, so he will be like probably going to do the thing of Roy Canoe, but he has resources of his own. Okay. So we can work with Emirates. He will be there. He can purchase kilos. His name is Alexander Birchmeyer. He's from Chile. He's an entrepreneur, very young. He has less than 30 years old. 30. Okay. So good. Let's see if it works. Okay. I am.
Good. I think that is always good to keep backups. And I had this guy called again, yesterday, Roy, and I simply told him that. I told him that I'm not really working on gold anymore, and if you want to talk about gold, talk to Guillermo. Okay, and he mentioned something about you, I said, well, that's
something like what? Like what?
I mean, the discussion you had with him, about me being rude and stuff like that, So, well, I said, that's how my friend.
He's a crazy guy. I mean, he at the end he said, "I like you, Guillermo. You seem to be a very strong and nice person." And then really, my how do you say?
Yeah.
The feeling that I have about Mr. Roy Canoe, it's
so yesterday in yesterday's discussion, I actually showed him the real picture. I simply told him that, okay, gold is Guillermo, okay? So it's a GG equation. Guillermo stands for gold, okay? So when you want to talk gold, you talk to Guillermo. If you want to talk about waste of Freetown, to transform waste into value, you talk to me, okay? And I don't know, I asked him a question that you are representing a Canadian company, okay, for last so many years, okay, 20 years or so. How much money have you made for them? I know how much money you lost for William Danshin. I know that because he is a good friend of mine, and you guys lost a lot of money for them, for him. So now he doesn't like you very much as a businessman, okay? So now I told him that, come out of that, situation. And, you guys, you are an engineer, but I don't consider you as an entrepreneur because you are a very sort of, a person who is afraid of everything, So I don't know. I mean, this is not entrepreneurial to be afraid of everything. And I mean,
okay.
I mean, you are representing a a Canadian company and you're not performing in that, it's your area. Okay, gold, you are not really a gold person, right? You're learning how to do gold business. Actually, your business, you are in a business of renewable energy, water, all the things which everybody in Freetown needs. You should be a millionaire by now, providing those services to them. And you are struggling still, and you lost money for William Danshin also. So, it happens, those kinds of things do happen in Africa. One of the engineers, they were working on a project, got kidnapped and stuff like that, over there. And, then William had to pay a lot of ransom and stuff like that to recover the guy, and a lot of those things happened. So anyway, he's also very cautious and careful. Once you lose money, then you are very careful.
Okay.
We are not saying that, okay, Roy is an honest person. He's honest. Okay, there is no doubt about that.
Yeah, but he is your word, no? Empty.
But he has his own style of, doing things.
Yeah.
And what I'm simply saying is this, that, I consider him not a good entrepreneur because he is a gentleman who has a UK citizenship. He's an immigrant of United States of America. Okay, and he's struggling still. That's a problem. Okay, I consider that as a big problem. So I don't know. It's a psychological issue, I think, with him. And I need to really dig more into it to see how we can help him out.
Yeah, but he can help himself better.
Yeah, he's okay. He's fine. I don't have any problems in trusting him with $5,000, and that's what it takes. We send him $5,000 and, see what he does, with that to get the gold out of Freetown or Ghana or whatever, Dubai or Tokyo. That's a good news. The other news I mentioned was that I will probably make you part of that system also, but I had a discussion with this gentleman, Ekwe. You remember the Nairobi guy?
Yeah. What with him?
Yeah, who is giving us 1 metric ton. So
yeah, but
he was not comfortable with Roy. So he called me, and I also shared one other thing, remember all that cash money which people are carrying with, the Dr. Malik kind of a person who has got 100 million in cash.
Right.
So there is one other gentleman from Nairobi. He contacted me, and he showed me the video of a lot of cash lying in the Nairobi airport. Okay. So cash dollars. So I sent that video to Captain Rajesh and to Ekwe.
Okay.
So these are they deal in this kind of transactions, So Ekwe called me and he says, urgent, I need to talk to you immediately. I said, okay. So I called him.
Dr. Gadir? Dr. Gadir?
No, not Dr. Rajesh, the Ekwe, from Nairobi.
Okay.
So he said, Mufaddal, that I know the owner of this dollars. Okay. And we can legally and ethically carry this dollar also along with gold. So I said, well, that's good. That's good. So if we can do it legally and ethically, I don't have any problems in, with any of the legal and ethical transactions you do. So then he said, okay, now this is going to be between 3 of us. I said, okay, I don't have any problem with that also. He said, well, I don't want to involve Roy in this transaction. I said, okay. So we agreed that, okay, Iyapan, the Canadian guy who introduced us, and I also told you, I actually made you a group member of that, Sam Stickwell, my Uganda group also, right? The discussion which we had about with Mark and stuff like that. So, and there is a lady also, the reason for putting you in that group was, that there is a lady by the name of Inga, okay? She's a European person and very influential lady with gold also in Kampala, okay? So that's the reason I put you also in that group. So now I told Iyappan that please immediately fly to Nairobi. Immediately.
Okay.
Immediately. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And because everything is open now, airports are open, everything is open. And you make sure that you sign all the legal documents. You see this gold in your presence. Okay. Meet the lawyer who is going to be preparing the documents. Sign all the legal documents about this particular transaction so that you can legally fly with Equay to Tokyo. Okay, and immediately do that because I told him that I need to immediately give 1 metric ton gold to Mr. Kevin Cody. He's anxiously waiting for it. So we will put this gold in, Metalor refinery. Metalor. And give it to Mr. Kevin Cody. So the buyer is already there. Okay, and the 1 metric ton gold is our service, our profit basically. So, we will be enjoying that profit. And so why don't you just do that? And then I asked a question to this guy that exactly how much you need to fly with this money and with this gold to Tokyo. So he calculated everything and he said $9 million. Okay. Fly to Tokyo with 3 metric tons. I said, okay, no problem. I will allocate $9 million for you. Okay. And it will come from New York or from Canada, wherever it comes from, because I'm generating the funds from Canada also through Iyappan. Okay. The funds can so come from all the Indians in Canada who will be part of the project, and so make sure that you complete all the documentation. Let me know that everything is legal and ethical, everything has been done, and give me the account number and everything, and I will make sure that the $9 million is transferred to that legal and ethical account, and you guys can fly immediately, to Tokyo. So that is the development on that end, and let's see what happens.
Okay.
Okay. So
all right.
That's a progress, and that's the reason I want you to be actively engaged in that group of Sam Stikulma. Yeah, Sam Stikulma Global Uganda, because I exactly told him that please fly to Kampala first. Okay. Please fly to Kampala first, complete all the documentation, etc. Become a signatory in our account of Sam Stikulma Uganda. Okay. My documentation are there. Obviously, I am the founding director. You are the director. Mark is the director. Okay. And Mark should have about $40 million at least with him, according to the plan which I worked out with him. So that from that amount, the $9 million can be transferred legally to the, the 3-ton project. So that's a master plan, okay?
Okay.
Now you need to enable, and I actually shared, I was pulling out that long, July meeting, which we had, right? Where we discuss the Mark situation, right? Okay.
Right.
So that's what I wanted you to share in that group, and do the active follow-up by introducing yourself as a gold man for Sam Stikulma Global, and make sure that they listen to you.
Okay, we will see.
So do that.
We will
that
see.
Part.
Sure.
That is the plan for East Africa. Okay. Iyappan has agreed to fly. Okay. And before he flies to, Uganda, probably this weekend or whenever he plans to do it, because I told him yesterday to do it immediately. So he is going to be flying there, and before he is there, we want to make sure that everything in Uganda is in control.
The phone that has a Japanese is this one that appears with 1647. That's his
Right.
phone.
Exactly. That's the number.
And he's on the photograph. There are two guys. He's
Two
the
guys, yeah.
the taller or the
Yeah,
smaller.
yeah. I don't know which one is which, but I mean that's Iapan's number, okay, in Canada. And there is a lady by the name of Inga in the same group.
There's a lady from Italy. Who is this
That's
woman?
Italian lady, yeah. She is the person also introduced me by my friend in London. And she has got, she's in the gold business. She's a gold broker. And she has also got gold in her possession from DRC, ready to be shipped.
Okay, and there is a phone of somebody that has 256. That's from Uganda, no? 256?
That's a Ugandan number, Mark, the gentleman I talked to.
Right.
Marco Polo. Okay, so save all those numbers, and now you will be the leading that group with respect to making sure that we get the real true picture about Mark's progress since we talked in July. Okay? So it was end of July, now it is August, September gone. We are entering October, and we need to get the details out from Mark to see what is his progress about setting up our company in Uganda.
Okay, I will find out, Mufarel. Okay.
So lead that project, and then from that point onwards, I always put you up front, to everyone. Wherever it is gold, you are part of that transaction, and petroleum both. Okay. So with respect to Dr. Gadir, yes, you handle the petroleum situation with him. You understand the contracts and petroleum transactions very well. So introduce as a petroleum man to him, and tell him that you have all the money in the world to finance all the refineries of the world by setting up climate smart refineries or converting the current refineries into climate smart refineries. So get all the data from Dr. Gadir, which he has. Basically, feasibilities, complete feasibilities of the project which he has done in the past, the refineries which he has controlled with, and the kind of contract he is currently signing with the Korean guy. Okay.
No problem.
So get in touch with him, and I already introduced you to him. So make sure that you help him out in moving forward the petroleum business.
Correct. Okay. Please enjoy your night. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I think we move forward. I think we covered quite a few bases, and some more work for you to do.
Some more work. Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.